I'm currently in the 99 percentile on ESPN for March Madness. Let's go. And this isn't just about bragging rights, though I do enjoy that. It actually decides our draft order. Let me explain. Every year, my fantasy football league does a March Madness bracket to determine who gets to pick their draft position. Just because you finish in first place doesn't mean you want the first draft pick. I think that adds a nice twist to it because you feel like you have more control. Right now, I'm ranked number 1 out of our 12-man league. Lots to get it. Which means I get the first dibs on where I want to draft. Not just the first pick. Rookie mistake. Some people like the first pick. Others want 5 or 6. Some people like the back end of the draft because they just think that people are going to fall to them. Personally, I like to wait until closer to the year to see where the end of the elite players are. Sometimes that's 3, sometimes that's 5. Only time will tell. First, I got to take down that number 1 spot. It adds a layer of strategy before you even get to the draft. And it's something to do in the offseason. So why do this instead of a random draft pick? Random draft picks are fine. It just doesn't add anything to it. It's kind of blasé. Doesn't build any hype. March Madness gets people engaged months before you're even thinking about football season. And as soon as this gets done, you got the NFL draft. And since we were all gonna fill out a bracket anyways, it just makes it more intense. I'm watching every game closer. I love it. Big fan. Oh, and did I mention that I got all 8 of the Elite 8 this year? Let's go! Check it out. Auburn versus Michigan State. I took Auburn. This felt like a pretty chalk year, not gonna lie. Florida versus Texas Tech. I had to get at least 1-9, 1-2 in here. Texas Tech, I like your run. Unfortunately, I think you're gonna go down to UF. Can't stand the Gators. I ain't gonna lie though, that team's showing out. Next, Duke versus Alabama? This ain't football, give me Duke. And Houston versus Tennessee, I just think Houston's too well-rounded. I'm not gonna lie to you, not a huge college basketball fan, but as soon as March Madness comes around, I'm in there like swimwear. Honestly, the first time I watched most of these teams play, during March Madness. That's why it's madness. But if you look at these picks, wasn't a lot of madness this year. Texas Tech was the only non-1 or 2 seed to make it to the Elite 8. Some are mad about the transfer portal. Me personally, I don't know enough. We had a couple close calls for some upsets, so I think it's too soon to judge whether or not it's gonna be chalk every year. But all I know is that Elite 8 was fire. Let's see how I predicted the rest of the tournament to go. Florida over Auburn, Duke over Houston, and Duke to take down the whole thing. Get that dub. National championship. Oh, hey, what's up, Jeffrey? I'm crushing it in March Madness. What do you think I should do with the pick?
99.3 percentile, sir. A strategic display, most commendable. Might I suggest pick 6 for optimal upside?
That's not a bad suggestion, Jeffrey, but I think it's a little early to count the chickens before they roost. This ain't over yet. I don't necessarily have the number 1 pick. There's still a whole lot of games to play. But assuming I do get first, we're gonna have to get a lot closer to the draft to see where those tier breaks are. I got a feeling that the top 4 or 5 picks gonna be around the same tier, but who knows? The draft, trades, injuries, a lot can change between now and then. Let's worry about winning March Madness first, then we'll get to the picks.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jeffrey, take me back to the studio. So if your league is still random and you pulling names out of a hat, try to spice it up a little bit. Next year, do March Madness, a poker tournament, heck, even a game of Mario Kart. Try to find some fun way that you and your league can decide your draft order. It just makes the offseason even more fun and builds anticipation for the upcoming draft. I also love the strategy around picking where you draft. Chef's kiss. And if you want to win your fantasy football league this year and not just finish in the middle of the pack as usual, stick around with me, Bay Nation. There's going to be plenty of content leading up to your draft. Let's get another championship. See you later, Bay Nation. Peace.